All right, we're talking about something that I thought we left in 2001. April, Omarion, Lil Fizz, and Moniece. Now, I have to say, this is a Love and Hip Hop reunion because we were all of us were on TV together. Is that kind of crazy? I just had one of those moments where it's like, oh, it's like looking in the review mirror at something that you don't want to see anymore. I love youth. I don't have a crush on you anymore, but I mean, okay, fine. I love everybody up here, okay, because I'm in therapy and I've moved on. But why are we still talking about this? This is why before I even get into this topic, this is why I despise people bringing me up with Love and Hip Hop, because I feel like Love and Hip Hop cast members, and this is excluding Omarion, of course, who don't have much going on after the show, continue to live in something that were years ago. Now, I used to not get along with her, but y'all know I got love for this girl now. And me and her, she'll text me from time to time. She's very supportive, and we've made up. And I'm just so happy that she has survived so many things and has been very transparent. I used to have a crush on Lil Fizz. I don't know, years ago before the show. When I got in the show, I thought he was going to leave Moniece for me, and that didn't happen. But instead, he left Moniece for Apryl, okay, who I liked when I was in the show, and I used to shoot with her when she was with Omarion, who was my real friend in real life that I had lost touch with. And I thought him and I would be besties in the show, but he was like, don't bring his gay ass over here in my mind, because I never shot with him, and he left before the reunion. I was left with Apryl, and then me and Apryl fell out because I was criticizing her relationship with Fizz, who was in a group with him, and she was friends with her and betrayed her. This is all Mona Scott Young's doing. This is all Mona Me Entertainment. This is all pre-Zeus Network drama trash that I didn't want to be involved with. But here it is again, because like herpes, it keeps popping up. It never goes away. Moniece Slaughter is dragging Apryl Jones after being mentioned while reflecting on her Omarion and Lil Fizz love triangle. We all know that Omarion and Fizz, as I said, are both in the group B2K. And those group mates have had their ups and downs. And Apryl and Omarion used to date and had 2 kids together, then split in 2016. 9 years ago. They split up 9 years ago, and we're talking about it today. In 2019, Apryl began dating Fizz, who shares a kid with and used to date Moniece. When Apryl and Fizz's relationship debuted on Love and Hip Hop, they were called out for betrayal by me and others. Now, in November of 2023, Omarion came on my show. It's been 2 years already? Damn, we got to have Omarion back. And he had a lot to talk about as it relates to this topic. Look. Is dating Apryl. You get betrayed in public and still give people grace. Yeah. And you might be dancing Omarion, singing Omarion. You a from Inglewood.
So you know what that means, right?
I don't know what it is. I'm gonna let you tell me. But what is that where you did not come unhinged?
That we all reap what we sow, you know what I mean? And whatever energy and whatever intent that we create, you know, especially if it's a negative one, you're gonna get it back tenfold. Pain hit different when you gotta sit in it, you know what I'm saying? And
I felt that one. Wasn't that relationship triangle messy?
It's so messy. That's so messy. And there's kids involved too.
And
so
I
messy.
know Omarion is so tired. I feel like Omarion's the sickest one of being like reminded of that, but we could not have sat him in the chair without asking him about that.
At all. Nearly 2 years later, Apryl is reflecting on her love triangle on the show with Carlos King, recalling her relationship with Omarion, born Omari Granberry, and later admitting that she never fell in love with Fizz, born Drew Pierre Frederick. She said he wasn't her type, but she felt safe. Listen.
Like when me and O did the show, that was 2014, 13 going into 14, because I was pregnant with Mega. And then you're talking about me not going back on the show to 18, 19. So it was like 5 years that had already passed of not being on the show. And there was a lot of stuff personally that transpired between that time, right? Wasn't like, yes, cool, in a band together. But like, what does that look like behind closed doors? Are they really friends? Do they really spend time together? All the things, like, we have to take all that into consideration. At that time, me and Drew really did become good friends from the show, me coming back onto the show. And I was dealing with so much at the time because I didn't have any family. I don't have any family here. But he was a friend, someone who made sure that I was good. He was there. And yeah, things were intimate between me and him, obviously, clearly. It wasn't anything trying to get back at at the time. O was far gone. I mean, we hadn't been together already at that point, like I said, for 5-6 years. Like, it wasn't a thing. Just like any, like I said, woman who has someone who's a friend and a person that you trust, like, that's a person that you could fall in love with. It's a person who you're going to tell your deepest and darkest secrets to, and who's going to listen. And I think that's just kind of what it was at the time,
Did you fall in love with Fizz?
No, Fizz was not my type.
Okay.
Fizz was a great friend. Fizz was someone I felt safe with. But that was it. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for him. Literally, at that time, he was a great friend. So.
How did Omarion find out?
I think publicly. Maybe he's seen us. I know he saw us hanging out because we were on blogs together. Mm-hmm. So he saw us hanging out before the show.
We don't care. First of all, I want to shout out Carlos King. I just was on a panel with Carlos and B. Scott, and we talked about this thing that we do. And the thing that I thought Carlos shared that was very telling was that he does a reality with the King podcast, right? Where he talked to a lot of the reality stars. I think in his own words, what you said is that these people don't really get the platform. So you give it to them and you go viral. And that's great because it's kind of like a niche thing to talk to these reality stars. The fact is that some of them, especially the washed up ones, don't have much going on for themselves. So they do need a place to be able to talk about the things that we've already talked about for 100 times. And I don't know why you would go on a show. April, I'm speaking directly to you. And the last time we did an interview with Omarion, you crashed out on social media. If you missed that, I'm going to just take a quick little second. Take a look at this.
Y'all got it confused. Y'all be sitting here looking at people like, well, this is his, and he's a great person. You don't fucking know that person. You ain't fuck him. You ain't sleep. You ain't, like, stop. If a man or a woman does not want to be exposed, then start being good to the people that you are with. Why would you think that a person that you treated like utter shit is supposed to protect you? But that is what we do. I refuse to do it anymore. I am 36. I'm about to turn 37, and I won't do it anymore. If you're a piece of shit, you are definitely a piece of shit. And I won't sit here and try to cover and let's meet in a room and put me on the interview, Jason Lee. I hope you guys put that on. Put me in an interview room and say, hey, how do you feel? How do you feel? Give it a fair shot. Give it a fair shot, because it hasn't been fair to me to hear my name constantly over and over and over and over again. I haven't been able to tell my side. I have literally shut the fuck up. I have taken care of my kids. I have been quiet, but y'all got me.
Okay, the crash out and the waterfall of tears. I mean, don't go chasing waterfalls because they right over there at Apryl Jones' house. We saw that all happen online. You were going to tell your story. I think you were going to come on the show, and then you decided to go back to your day job, which, by the way, congratulations on finding some work to do. I don't understand why you would sleep with your baby daddy bandmate, publicly go on a show and parade around that you were bumping it with him, to then later go on and say that you were never attracted to him, when, by the way, Fizz is attractive, and we've all seen his junk in the front trunk. So we know that it was either A, you wanted to sleep with him, or you wanted to hurt your best friend that was at least your best friend on TV. Then again, all of y'all are fake on the reality show. I don't even know who liked who. I didn't like a lot of people. The people that I liked knew I liked them. The people I did. I'm just so confused why you would publicly be in a relationship with your baby daddy's bandmate if you did not like him or find him attractive in that way. You felt safe with him. Go get a security guard. Go get a dog companion animal. Go get a fish. You know, get something that can occupy your time. You don't have to get your best friend's boyfriend who's your baby daddy's business partner, right?
Yeah, and
I mean, I'm not trying to be hard on anybody today.
No, like I completely agree, and like she's very pretty, and I just think there's so many men she could have gone after. Why go after that person? Like he's just way too close to in too many ways. Like that to me is a little crazy.
And I'm always gonna bring it back to
Because
the fact
wait,
that
she
they're
is a
kids.
pretty girl.
Very.
She's a
What?
pretty girl.
April
This
is
girl
gorgeous.
and the body's beautiful, and her personality.
Yes.
She's a beautiful woman
For sure.
without all this mess. Like, why?
That's
Is it
what
low
I'm
self-esteem? What I don't know what's giving.
I don't know. And I think I gotta watch the full interview because I just wanted more information. Like, what is it about that? Because that triangle is, I feel like that's why we keep bringing it up 9 years later, because it's so
Diabolical.
It's diabolical.
Diabolical.
Out of
What is
all the
another
guys.
word? This is stuff that the punks do. This is what the punks do. The punks would do some shit like this, right? We ain't doing
Oh
this.
my God.
Anyway, April also reacted to Carlos claiming that Moniece told him she felt betrayed by her friend. I mean, you were her friend. Even if it was for TV, you were her friend. And people that see the reality show, it's reality to them because we kind of sell it like reality. Anyway, this is what April had to say. Listen.
Moniece felt like you and her were friends, and she felt betrayed. You did break the girl code with Moniece.
I would say no, but you know, it's, we all define friendship differently, right? So no, if that's my truthful answer. While I can understand that we're on a show and these people are connecting us and we appear to be cool because that's reality TV, cool, that's her perspective. And I don't want to take that away from her. This wasn't someone I talked to about my life. This wasn't someone that I was with 24/7. This wasn't, I don't know what, you know, we've seen each other on filming sets and in passing. And so no.
She said recently that at her funeral, she would love for you to be there in the back 5 pews. But then you would have to leave and you're not allowed to go to the repast.
She wouldn't have to worry about that. And honestly, I wish nothing but the best for her. Genuinely. I don't hold grudges in my spirit. I mean, I haven't seen Moniece since I filmed on that show, and that again was almost 8 years, baby. So you're talking about 8 years and you still feel that way? That's the inner work that I'm talking about, though. That's the inner work that we actually have to really start doing within ourselves. I don't hold a grudge. I don't feel no way. I don't feel a way about, you know, what O has done to me, because we could go on and on and on. I don't feel no way. And as a woman who experienced certain things that I choose and tend to not talk about, I still show up and honor and respect and say, you the father of my kids. And 1 minute, look, you can hate folks. The next minute, you can love them all over again. But what we gonna decide, what we gonna choose to do, right? While she may feel like that, honey, I do not have to show up to your funeral. I will pray and I will be sad that you are gone and hope that your soul has reached the heavens. But I hope that before she closes her eyes and she does not wake up, that you really do the inner work. Sorry to anyone that feels like they were betrayed or they were hurt. We do that when we are not in good spaces and places in our life. We do that. So I'll say I'm sorry to anyone who has felt like at these times in my life when I didn't know how to coast through, when I didn't know what I was dealing with, when I didn't have the answers to it, that maybe a hurt person could have hurt people. Sure, I'll take that. I will take the accountability. But I will say this, you're going to get a very different version of me now these days, because I am doing the work. So I'm not going to run into these same issues, right? I'm choosing to elevate and I'm choosing to grow, and I think that's what life is about.
We're going to clap that up. We're going to give her...
For which part?
Not the part about her going to heaven and all that, because that was shade. She threw a little shade, but she had to, you know. But the fact that she says she's working on herself, the fact that she's saying that she's not gonna be the person that she used to be. Because listen, we could all drag. Let me be very clear to all of you. You know, I do love Omarion. We do talk infrequently, but we are in contact. And I just ran into him recently at the BMI Awards, and I'm just so glad that our relationship is back to, it's not back to what it used to be in terms of hanging out all the time. That's because he's a father, he has a career, I have a career, I'm busy, I'm running a city. I forgot I'm the vice mayor. And like, I have a lot going on, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm very busy and he's very busy, but I'm glad that our relationship is, I feel the love when I see him. We're genuinely happy to see each other. Fizz and I, you know, I don't know if I've ever said publicly that I had a crush on him before, although I wouldn't sleep with him today. He's, you know, he was cute to look at when we filmed or whatever, but I always used to have to watch his hands because I thought he was going to try to fight with me because I was fighting with his baby mom. It was a mess. But I say all that to say, I'm not going to relive this show with you people. I'm only here talking about you because you're in the news and Ariella put you on the sheet. I don't talk about love and hip hop. In fact, this is the one thing that when people talk about my career and they go to, oh my God, I've been watching you. since Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored with Melissa Ford. You start there. I'm not embarrassed by the show, but what I'm embarrassed is this buffoonery that's going on. Like, yes, you may not have been, sipping your wine because April used to have wine. Maybe you weren't sipping your wine and you weren't sitting around chit-chatting off camera, but on camera to millions of people every week, you were her friend. And so if you were acting like you were her friend, in her mind, she probably thought you were her friend. Nikki Baby was my friend in the show. She was my friend out the show. She was somebody that I befriended. Kamaya was my friend in the show. She was my friend outside the show. I didn't go in here acting like I liked y'all and then not acting like I like y'all created the lunacy, which is why 10 years later, you're still living in it. I pray that you all get the peace that you need. To Marina's point, somebody one of you asked me, maybe it was Rob when we were watching Marina, she has a kid with Fizz.
Okay, I had to
let me back up. Okay.
I didn't know.
Watch this. These two were in a group together in front of the whole world.
Yes,
everybody
B2K.
knows. And girls love these guys, right?
Hello, yep.
He has 2 kids with her. She has 1 kid with him, and then she leaves him to get with him.
But the girls were never friends. Yeah. They're only friends because they were they're friends because
the show.
They're men because of B2K.
No, and the show brought them together.
Oh.
But if you're season 2 friends with her when she's fighting it out with her baby daddy, then the baby daddy leaves the show and you need a storyline. So now you sleep with him. You 3 have a triangle. This is messy. So you're not a victim. You don't get to Selena Powell the situation and then all of a sudden start, pow, everybody's the bad guy. However, to her point, she went on a show to talk about probably nothing with Carlos, and he brought up the things that reality people still want to talk about. And here we are 10 years later living in your trauma. You're going to be a 60-year-old retiree talking about how you slept with the enemy in order to have a storyline. That is going to be your legacy. I pray for all of you the peace that we all deserve to have. There are some of us that use the platform like me and Cardi and K. Michelle and Jocelyn who knew we came to do a thing and we got out and we got our bag and now we're doing other things. It's been a long time since I've talked about this, and I do pray to God and my producers that we never talk about it again.
That's what I was going to just add to that. I like Love and Hip Hop itself because I feel like it's a good litmus test. Some people either grow from it or some people really fall victim to it and just still spiral and constantly crash out in circles. Not that this is a crash out, but it's just complicated. It's so messy.
Well, reacting to April's interview, Moniece said she'll never apologize and neither will my baby daddy. She then told Omarion to control his baby mama, warning she'd post all the receipts that she sent to him, his manager, Michelle LaFleur, her therapist and lawyers. Look, a whole lot of folks finna be put to shame if the texts and emails and pics, let's keep it cute. I'd advise you, Omarion, to keep your baby mama quiet ahead of this tour because if she or your bro keep on dismissing me and negating my mental wellness, I'll post it all. Michelle, everything I sent to her, him, my therapist, and James, and you, Michelle, and I have already given my parents the heads up since my mother recently accused me of ruining my dad's legacy. I've not been caught up in no shit. Don't push me. I'm waiting on my public apology, and the time's ticking. Listen, Moniece has been quiet. She's been working on her. By the way, your boobs look great, Moniece. There's a little thickness going on over there, which is great for you. Well, look, Moniece sent a lengthy caption slamming Apryl, Carlos, and Fizz, telling them all to go straight to hell. She also made some clarifications to Apryl and Carlos's claims. Look, okay, I ain't reading all that. I am not reading all that. She went out. She added Jess in the hilarious Love and Hip Hop. Am I in there? No.
Rick Ross. What the heck?
Okay. Y'all just let me leave this up for a minute. But what she does talk about that I don't want to take light out is that she's currently battling clinical depression. And so she's been popping in and out of IG. Moniece, we'll leave this up while I say this, but Moniece has had a long history of being open about her mental wellness, mental health, mental challenges. And, so I just want to say I'm glad that she's getting the help that she needs. And I also want to say she does not pop off like she used to because reality TV Moniece gave us this much content to talk about in video form. Mm-hmm. Well, her post continued. That wasn't long enough. Look. Okay, now while I
oh my gosh.
While I leave, she got a lot to say. The girl had the pent up stuff. Okay. Either way, you know, she talks about the DCFS reports, and at the end she said, "Fuck you." Just leave her alone. Look, at the end of the day, I hope you all find peace. Goodbye.